Hi guys, I'm back in Austria now and I want to talk about the Austrian Labour Market opening and what's going on and some summary of my recent activity. I was now 1 week in Brussels. It was very interesting. You saw the videos calling for the EU to join NATO, Austria to join NATO, Ukraine to adopt the euro. Now we have the summit of Ukraine EU and this was big success. But the euro is of course the logical answer, because if you want to do economic integration, as I outline all the time, it's of course the currency integration like in Kosovo, like in Montenegro. I was just in Kosovo now also for this big jamboree of the Austrians. That was really very big success as well. I will go to Albania very soon and I continue my relentless campaign for more European unity, even if many of my friends in Brussels seem to be ready for early retirement, me not. I'm full of energy and I'm fully motivated. Russia is waging a terrible war. It must be dismantled for this. It will be dismantled for this. And we will win this war together with Ukraine. Ukraine will be integrated in the European Union, and so will all good and European countries. So let's make some things here very clear. I come back to Austria and then I hear that the Ukrainians who live in Austria will get full access like the citizens of Switzerland and of Norway. It's called the European Economic Agreement, EWR. That's very good, a big success. That's my second people's petitions, what I'm calling for. But not only for the Ukrainians, obviously as well for the Kosovo people, for the Albanians, for the Montenegrinians, for the Macedonians, for the Serbs, for the Georgians, for the Moldovans, all EU candidate countries, obviously. Of course the Ukrainians need it most, of course we need anyhow a lot of people, of course this is the best policy, and of course all EU candidate countries. For Turkey, we must negotiate with them in another step, because they are doing a lot of bad things at the moment to us, and with Sweden, Finland, NATO accession, they must be excluded, but we can do it country by country, same as we have done it with Ukraine. And of course, this must happen now. Please, Minister Kocher, you have been just in Ukraine. Ukraine is important, and it's of course most important, no doubt. And also Mrs. Ursula von der Leyen, it's the euro. You also seem not to know Montenegro very much. You didn't come now again after your visit when you cancelled Montenegro. Montenegro and Kosovo are the role models for the new states emerging out of the Soviet Union and the Russian Empire, and there will many to come. And I'm very happy that with this conference in Brussels, I'm now relatively well covered in many of the Russian media and the Ukrainian media, actually. First time since a long time, my name appears as the dismantler of Russia, and that's really a good reputation, because the genocidal empires must be dismantled, and this is what it will be. In 15 minutes I give another interview about exactly that topic, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And I'm really very happy that I was invited now again to also discuss the status of the Russian opposition, how we should not have the vision of a free democratic Russia, because it will never be, but how we have to dismantle Russia into the constituent parts. I estimate it will be 34 new countries, and we must prepare. And of course the best preparations is by successfully integrating all the countries which are already independent out of Yugoslavia and the Soviet Union, and we have not integrated all of them, and that's a big mistake. But with the exemption of Serbia, obviously we should integrate all of them very fast. Serbia only after the Western turn. Mr. Vucic has gone all mad. He's now a madman, actually. His performance this week in the parliament is beyond any kind of capacity of understanding, and it's really very bad. And I call the EU to stop this appeasement and to sanction Serbia and to break off the negotiations. He is calling for, it was a pity that Albin Kurti was released from the prison of Milosevic back then and all these things. He is basically declaring war on Kosovo in every extent and purposes in the parliament this week in this turmoil. And you see this whole appeasement doesn't work. Offer Serbia a good deal with the euro. I'm always for that, for recognition. If they don't do it, please cancel their status, free Serbia, and all the rest into EU and NATO. Most of them are already, but the remaining few in EU and NATO, getting them in, especially support the victims of Serb aggression, Montenegro, Bosnia and Kosovo, with recognition. Hello Romania, Spain and Greece, and especially Greece, I was told, is very close to doing so. The Americans probably need to activate the chief appeaser, Derek Chollet and Jack Sullivan, they should better focus on their real job, making peace between Greece and Turkey, very important, winning the war in Ukraine by NATO integration, and stop all this nonsensical appeasement of Serbia. And that's all I want to make very clear on that one. The euro for Ukraine, very clear. Austria, of course, is now fully occupied by Russia, and they even invite the Russian MPs, who we just kicked out of the Council of Europe, to the OECD Parliamentarian Assembly. I'm fully against that. I'm for NATO membership of Austria. I'm for the opening of labor market. I'm for the European Free Trade Agreement with the United States of America, which we have not done, and for Mercosur and all the other opening to the West. I'm for the end of any import and trade relations with Russia. Withdraw all the companies from Russia, and it will be dismantled anyhow, and you will lose all your money the longer you will stay there. And so that's absolutely the best advice I can give. And here it's also very clear that these visas for this Russian delegation must be cancelled. Must be cancelled, absolutely. Schallenberg must resign. He is a Russian asset. He is probably compromised together with his master Schüssel, and I don't know what kind of level of compromat is already available, but there's no other explanation anymore for his pro-Russian policy, and it's disgraceful. I was very happy to be back in Brussels. It was a very nostalgic moment for me. I'm now back in Austria. I will give another interview for the dismantlement of Russia now. And this is the scenario for 2024. We all have to prepare for that. And of course, I continue my campaign for NATO membership of Ukraine, Bosnia, Kosovo, and Austria. And I will do what I can to achieve that. Good. Thanks a lot. I think that's more or less clear. And I will now make an interview also with this media outlet to dismantle Russia. And I will, of course, support the independence of all these countries. It was a special joy for me to see many people from so many regions and districts of Russia who are striving for EU and NATO membership, who are striving for independence and freedom. Nobody wants to live under a genocidal regime like Putin has developed, and his 22 years in power will end in 2024. You will see there will be another 5th of October, and maybe another 5th of October is necessary for Serbia as well. So let's see all that in the future. We also need an energy effort with nuclear in Austria. I will start another people's petition with that one. And then I think, and also the flat tax, that's my 5 topics. I'm not sure I should also touch the question of Austria turning into Kuwait and not giving any double citizenship to anybody. And we are basically very restrictive in the citizen rights, because it's also connected with the voting rights. That's another campaign I'm thinking about. I'm not 100% sure, but 6 topics to run is of course a lot. And of course, yes, let's end the Schengen debacle. This was really very annoying, and this must be ended. Romania and Bulgaria must be in the Euro, in OECD, visa waiver and Schengen. And of course, Austria must be punished, or as an excuse, instead of being punished, can make a big investment drive and a big support drive for Romania, and a big apologize for our past crimes and our unbelievable racist attitude, xenophobic, anti-Semitism, protectionism, anti-Americanism. It's all the same. And I will especially campaign against anti-Americanism, because it's very often connected with anti-Semitism, and this is basically one of the origins of all this. Good, and that will be my campaign end of February, and there will be a lot of other activities. I cannot disclose all of them, but I say Slava Ukraine here. Obviously, we have 1 year of the war now. Ukraine is standing strong. Fiscally, it needs a lot of support, obviously, and it's much better to do that inside the Euro system. And we can put the reconstruction and the investment drive of the future on a firm fundament, and not on constant devaluation, shocking the investments community and the savers community and the economic system, because how low you want to go? It's already totally developed currency, and that's very important, so very bad. So good, I think these are the most important right now, and I call for decency, and I call for improvement of Austrian and European policy. I will relentlessly drive this campaign towards improvement, and I wish you now a good time. I will keep you updated from my travels. Also listen to my podcast, where I'm not really updated, but subscribe me here, please. Thanks a lot for the 1,200 who have already done so, and I'm looking for more support, and I'm looking also for more subscription, more likes on Twitter, and on Facebook. And please support decency and support this podcast and support the victory of Ukraine. Money you can really send to Ukraine, they need it much more, and that's the best way to do it. But when you can subscribe this channel, that's a big support, because I want to get this message across, and that's not so easy given the lack of transparent access to the Austrian media, and I will continue to work around that, and I will be successful with that one, and it will be world changing. I'm saying now already since 2016 that Ukraine should join the European Union and NATO and adopt the euro, since 17 actually, then in public fully. And definitely I tried my best, and now gradually with the summit things are coming, but we have to systematically reform everything. We cannot just do this, there. That's not good enough. We have these 7 big organizations from EU, NATO, UN, OSCE or OECD, and World Trade Organization, the Euro, and all the others. I have counted all the list in my podcast, explained it all in great detail, and we have to make progress on all fronts. It's not possible just to do one thing here, one thing there, and to be happy. We must be much more ambitious to win this war, and we will win this war, but it's better to win it faster and not to wait a decade-long war that nobody really wants. This year, winning by victory, liberation of Mariupol, Slava Ukraine, that's the best way. Thanks a lot. All the best for victory of Ukraine.